So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So today we're diving deep into the world of Master League. We officially have a trailer that's up and running. You guys would have seen it yesterday, but we're going to dive deeper. We're going to dissect it. We're going to talk about what it's going to be all about this year for PES 2020. And I'm thoroughly looking forward to it. Having watched this, it's looking quite exciting. Hopefully it plays out well. But for me personally, my Master League series, having more cutscenes, more story, that's what you want. And that's what we're going to talk about. So, without further ado, let's roll the trailer and really talk about what exactly this year is going to be all about. So they show some snippets, different scenarios, different cutscenes, the dressing room, the backstage, the new camp in all its finery. And then a little bit of gameplay, Messi smashing one in. There's a couple of managers that you're going to be able to choose if you want. And there's also going to be some other managers as well. Now, apparently there is no create a manager though. You can't specifically create one, you know, with tweaking the eyes and the hair and all that. Am I that bothered about it? Personally, not really, and I'll tell you why. Because I would rather have them have these really high performance 3D scanned player models with the managers and then see them in game than not really seeing them at all and kind of making it pointless and redundant. Personally, that's my decision anyway. Let me know your thoughts, of course, below. So it says consistent scenarios and drama throughout the season. Got a little bit of a cameraman there, either side of it, having a bit of a discussion. What is all this is going to mean? I don't know until we play the game. We've got daily challenges and decisions to make. That's good. That's what I want. I want to be able to make those decisions. When you're a manager, you've got a lot on your plate. Deciding what players are fit to play. You know, salary negotiations, buying other players. It's all part of the drama of being a manager. The pressure's got to be on you. So that is what we want to have. Experience the highs and lows of being a manager. Exactly. We've all been there. You guys saw my Real Madrid playthrough. It wasn't the best in the end, and in the end we didn't win anything, but I still thoroughly enjoyed being a manager. We had ups, we had downs. What lies ahead is your very own unique story. So because they've got this new interactive dialogue system, depending on what you pick will ultimately decide how your season pans out. How exactly will that happen? Once again, you have to play the game to really get a feel for what this is going to be capable of. So the new Master League's about to kick off. There it is. Now we're going to dive right into the proper trailer itself. So they have the improved manager models. There's 18 manager models available. And I mean, I have to say they look fantastic. They clearly are using the same technology that they've used for the likes of Manchester United, Juventus, etc. So you've got the manager's name. I don't know if you can change this. I would think you would be able to change the manager's name, but his face is primarily going to be the same. So I could call him Luigi, but it's not exactly going to look like Luigi. You can pick the nationality, and then you've got the match attire. So here he is in his suit. Next up, we have the shirt and the tie. I've got him in the sportswear, so if you want to go a little bit more athletic, there's an option for that as well. And then you can choose your appearance. So you've got Cruyff, Maradona, Zico, Romario. They all look really nice. There's no doubt that you wouldn't know who these are. Roberto Carlos, fantastic. Mateus there. Hullet looks brilliant. I mean, that is just fantastic, isn't it? It really does look the part. So there is a look at some of the managers. There are going to be other ones to pick. As it says, 18 to choose from. Moving on, now we start to see some cutscenes. Become the manager. Experience numerous events within your club with a variety of high-quality cutscenes. So there is obviously PK. This guy right here, I believe he's kind of your mentor. He's going to be helping you out. Whether you change clubs and he stays with you is a different story. We'll find out as, of course, we play the game mode. So they go through, they have a bit of a press conference here with Cruyff, and this is what it says. Congratulations on your appointment. You're quite the journeyman manager, having managed at numerous other clubs. Do you consider your current appointment the crowning moment of your career? It says new cutscenes and storylines will unlock throughout the season according to your decisions and performance. So if you pick something and someone else picks another scenario, it will play out, they're saying, differently. So we continue, and it says right here, is your appointment at this club the crowning moment of your career? You've got three options. You've got, it's a fresh start, it's the greatest moment of my football life. and it's a career highlight. So that's where the dialogue comes from. You pick and choose what you want to say, and you pretty much go from there. Firstly, I like to stress how grateful I am to be given the opportunity to helm a club like this. So he talks about all the little bits and bobs there with Cruyff himself. Now remember, you can change the boards behind you depending on what team you are. You can go ahead and switch them up. If they're not licensed, you can forget about having the fake names and everything else and put Adidas, Nike, even PES Universe if you guys want to represent. So moving on a little bit further. Couple more cutscenes. Negotiate transfers. Now this is something, of course, very, very key, and something I really hope they're telling the truth, because we know the transfers over the last couple of years haven't been the best. The transfer market will use a brand new algorithm built on a rich library of real-world football data. I think the key word there is real-world. If they're going for real-world transfer football data, then thank you very much. And if they were even able to update these throughout the year, would be fantastic as well. So some more shenanigans. And here is a look at Anton Griezmann. So this is pretty much the same thing we saw last year. It hasn't changed too much, but you will notice the transfer fee is a lot more realistic than we've seen before. So at least you've got the proof in the pudding. Whereas before you could probably buy Griezmann for 40, 50 million. It's not realistic. It's not going to happen. So you've got the deal negotiator. You've got the negotiation status. It's a full transfer. His market value is 130 million. There's his salary. And then, yeah, I think they zoom in a little bit here. Right there. So player transfers, transfer fees, and salaries are also in close alignment with reality. Good. That's what we want, right? That's exactly what we want. They're just showcasing that a little bit more, that they have actually worked on it. Couple more cutscenes there. There's Griezmann, of course, with Cruyff being snapped up because he recently did go to Barcelona. So, bit of a handshake, bit of a picture. And now we're looking at there are a couple of managers. There's obviously AC Milan. And once again, the person you're with will probably change according to what club you're with, or it very well may be the same guy. I don't know. I haven't played the game mode myself. Now, pre-season. So utilize the pre-season competition to integrate your promising young players into your squad. I quite like this because youth in PES has never really been important, to be honest. It would be nice to be able to give the younger players, and I tried that. I tried that in my Real Madrid career. I wanted to give the younger players a chance to shine and grow them and really see what they are capable of. So they're going to try and integrate that into your squad in pre-season, and hopefully boost up their stats as well. So if they perform well, you'll gain recognition from the fans, impacting the club following and growing the team's recognition. So club following is something new. We haven't had that before. It's going to grow the team's reputation. So as this goes through, we'll see a couple of snippets of gameplay. There's a goal bagged in the old onion bag. And this is what I like to see here, showcasing the manager. So from having a look at this, it does mean that when you play a match and you are picking a legend or not, because they're properly modeled, we're going to be able to see them when we score a goal, when we miss a chance. I want to see that. I really, really would like to see that. So then they actually do show you what it's going to look like for when you're playing the mode itself. It's changed, as we know, from last year. And I think it looks better. Obviously, it's going to, I think, change according to what you go on. I mean, that's a no-brainer. First of all, they've moved all the icons from the left to the top, and I would expect you to use the left and right triggers to be able to go from one to the other, which is how it should be, by the way. It's good to see they've got that back. I'm still not a huge fan of the naming of these. They're still using sort of database, which doesn't tell me anything. Manager's office, fine, is more convenient. My team info, team management, fine, but I still would like the naming a little bit better. So you've got obviously a logo at the top. You've got following Surge, Milan is trending, maybe a little bit of what's happening socially there. The news feed of the matches you've got coming or the matches you've played, and then you can change that with, or it will be literally a slideshow. Shows all the standings on the right-hand side now, as opposed to literally just showing you. I was never a fan of that either, showing me like the top 3 or 4 teams. Doesn't help. At least here you've got the top 10 teams there. You've got your followers below it, your official partners there as well. and you've got your matches coming up. Thank you. I would have loved to know who I'm coming up without having to go to schedule every single time, which we've had before. So this is the start of the season, the ICC Cup for the first 3 games, and then you dive into Serie A for the opening match. It's got the matches times, it's got the stadium, and it's got the date. So yes, I would say this is a better looking menu than we've seen before. But how it's going to look on the other menus, probably quite similar, but still, there you go. What do you guys make of it? Let me know below. There's the following. You can see it's going up for AC Milan. That's going to change according to how well you're doing, etc. You've got your official partners down the bottom as well. And I said before, you can change these if you want to. So, derby matches. Another big thing. Now, we know about rivalry matches in PES. We've seen them. They've always been a bit of a nightmare because you feel like you have a bit of a negative effect against them. They're always quicker than you. The ball always comes back to them. How it's going to work in gameplay, we'll see later, but it says experience the build-up to a key derby fixture in Master League like never before. Proving a match with your historical rival isn't just another game. So what this is going to mean is that you're going to have a couple of weeks build-up to your derby match. It won't just show up. You'll be able to see that, hang on a minute, in 3 weeks' time, we've got the Manchester derby, right? We've got the Milan derby, the Madrid derby, whatever's coming up. You'll have a bit of time to be able to maybe cater your team around that so that they're not knackered pretty much and they're ready to play that big match. They're always tough, and I'm sure they're going to be as tough as ever. There you can see the quality. Great celebration. Roberto Carlos getting furious as well, having a chat with his mate again. This is when he's at Inter Milan. You're putting me between a rock and a hard place, but I'll do my best. Maybe he had a bit of a tough game there in the last match. So feel the tension within the club as the derby match draws near, with dedicated storylines offering a variety of cutscenes, exchanges with the media, and motivational speeches in the locker room on the day of the match. So here he's just talking about it. The match against Milan on the 28th of October is not just an old match between two football powerhouses, it's a derby. Us winning derbies is the reason why the club supporters keep coming back. Now, when it says about the speeches in the locker room, I don't know if that means that when you are in the locker room, you can say certain bits of dialogue, and maybe it gives the team a bit of a boost. If you say the wrong thing, maybe it makes them play a little bit worse, or it's just sort of more of a contextual type thing that we've seen in game, where it just does what it needs to, and you move on. So there he is, having a bit of a spiel with the lads, talking about no one has ever won a derby on technique and tactics. Heart is what wins you games like these. Now go out there and show them who has the most heart. Yeah, Manchester United should probably take note about that. It's all about heart, boys. Heart is what you need. So Roberto Carlos there talking to his boys. Here comes the derby game against Milan. Win over your longtime rival in an intense match to fill the supporters' joy as you bring them victory. And I'm sure you'll get a nice bucket load of followers if you do manage to win that derby game. So there's Roberto Carlos again. Lukaku scoring of all players. So you can tell it's been updated. Bit of a celebration. There's the boys in the locker room. Lionel Messi got the old shirt off. No, he hasn't got the tattoos and all that, but I'm expecting that to be fully updated. When the game is going to be released, you would expect Messi to be fully rendered. So he sits down, ready for the press release, and he says, every game matters. Lead your club to victory through your decisions and the numerous storylines throughout the season. So he says here, with so many remaining matches, what's going on, or what's going to be Barcelona's approach as you enter the final stage of the season? So you have a couple of options. What's your approach for the final few matches? We will win all the matches from this point on. We're focused on the match in front of us. We're looking to play it smart. I don't know what that means exactly. What you pick is probably going to be... It's almost like missions. I feel like dialogue, stuff like this, has replaced the missions that we've seen in PES 2019. So if you... Are you going to pick, we win all the matches from this point on? You're expected to win. If you don't win all the matches, there's going to be pressure on you. Will there be, though, a bit of a negative effect if you don't win all those matches? Those are things we're going to have to see when we play the game ourselves. Do you try and just say you're going to play it smart, or do you go a little bit more gung-ho and say you're going to win all those matches? Is there a penalty for losing? I don't know. We'll find out. So he's going to pick with focus on the match at hand. The moment you start looking behind you is the moment you slip up. We'll take each match as it comes. So there he is once more, talking to the boys in the locker room, just trying to motivate them, get them playing. So a new season, a new Master League, and I think that's pretty much going to sum this trailer up. But I'm liking the look of it. You know, creating your own story, a lot of cutscenes, I think a lot more depth than we've seen before. And ultimately, everyone hopefully will have sort of a different scenario happening depending on how it plays out for you. So that is going to be the key. Be sure you are pre-ordering your membership as well on PESUniverse.com. I'm going to be bringing out another video about that and what's going to be coming in version 1, because we're getting a little bit more deeper now into it. But this year, I think better than ever, you guys are really going to enjoy Master League, because it's certainly taken a little bit of an upgrade, isn't it? I'm happy to see the transfers are fixed. I'm happy to see there's a little bit more contextual, you know, integration with the dialogue, with the cutscenes. You're more focused about being a manager and sort of seeing where it goes. Anyway, that is all from me today. Let me know your thoughts below. We shall be back shortly. Got a couple of videos in the works ready to launch. But until next time, subscribe for more and take care.